And joining me now is a member of Congress, exclusive Gang of Eight, Arkansas Republican Congressman Rick Crawford, the chair of the powerful House Select Committee on Intelligence. I've been looking forward to talking to you, Congressman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We know there are foreign actors doing their worst here. At the end of the day, this is a nonpartisan issue. As a member of the Gang of Eight, I'm sure you've seen intelligence that no one else in Congress has, without revealing any classified information, of course. Can you tell Americans this? Is there credible intelligence today that foreign adversaries have successfully altered the outcome of a U.S. election? Or are we talking primarily about attempts to influence voters rather than the actual votes?
Well, I don't want to characterize any kind of intelligence that I may have access to, but that's really not even the question about whether or not they've been successful in altering votes. The question ought to be the fact that we have brought forth information, or the president brought forth information on an issue that seems to be, people are acting like it's nothing to see here. We're talking about an important adversary like China, and there's evidence of other nations, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, and others that were involved in disrupting or playing some sort of a malign role in our election process. Now, there's no, I don't see anyone making a claim that they altered vote totals, but that we're missing the big picture here, and it seems like the media are trying to sweep this under the rug. If this were, like, for example, when this happened in Great Britain, President Joe Biden said, "Oh, we've got to bring charges against people." When it happened, when there were some Iranian actors, then we're gonna root this out and find out and arrest people and all this other. But here it is with China, and it seems like nothing to see here. In fact, Hillary Clinton even made the comment that, well, if the Russians favor Republicans, then maybe we ought to ask the Chinese to help the Democrats out. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. We're talking about American sovereign right to vote, and people are acting like that doesn't matter. Well, it absolutely matters.
That's why I'm so glad to have you on tonight, so we can separate fact from fiction. And there's no doubt the administration has pointed to China. We know Russia has also been accused of meddling in our elections. You mentioned we are at war with Iran. What are the vulnerabilities going into the midterms currently?
Well, I think what we have are, I mean, there's some electronic vulnerabilities that's been demonstrated. You've seen the information that the president brought forth last night. But I think what we really have to get down to in the big picture here, without getting into technicalities, the big picture here is the fact that we have an intelligence community that's willing to manipulate intelligence and analysis for an agenda. And they withheld information from the president, they've withheld information from Congress, and they've withheld information from the American people. This is a systemic problem in the intelligence community. Let me say that there are great patriots working in the intelligence community. I'm not going to malign the entire intelligence community, but there are enough bad apples that are willing to engage in agenda-driven analysis, and if it's not bad enough to deceive, absolutely withhold information, for example, from the president's daily brief that he needs to know, because that informs decisions and policy making. And yet we have people in these positions of trust that are willing to completely ignore that and inject their own personal bias for a political end. And that can't happen. We've seen it. I've been working on this for years now, where we've seen analytic integrity being a major problem in the IC, and people are willing to look the other way on it. That's the big takeaway here that I think we have glossed over.
Congressman, that is deeply troubling, knowing American intelligence is lying to the president or not being transparent with the information that the administration is claiming they have. Are we prepared, more prepared now than previous elections as we go into the midterms?
I hope so, because we're bringing this issue to the fore and people are now paying attention. And I think honestly, we need to harden up our election process from the standpoint of making it more difficult for interference from outside actors like China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. But it needs to be, we need free and fair elections. Heck, I've traveled around the world, and I have actually been an election observer in other countries. And, you know, that's the cornerstone of our constitutional republic, is the ability to have a free and fair election and give people a voice at the ballot box and respect that individual sovereignty. We can't compromise that in any way.
Congressman, you said you've been looking into this for quite some time. You've been to other countries to see how their elections work. What's keeping you up at night when it comes to our election system and just learning the information you have been with your position, in your position?
What bothers me the most is foreign nations, particularly nations like China and Russia, that have the ability to engage in propaganda and malign influence that, even without hacking a system, is already problematic. But then when you have the technical expertise to go in and back that propaganda up with a potential technical ability, collecting information from 220 million Americans, that's a problem for us. I don't care who the president is. That's a problem for us as a nation when that happens. And what's even more of a problem is the fact that if the intelligence community knows this and withholds it from the president, that is unacceptable.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.